into this sport was always going to be challenging. We had to be a disruptor, we had to do things differently, we had to bring things to the sport that perhaps hadn't been seen before. So to be back at leaders, to be around other sports professionals, to see them take boxing seriously. I think for so long it was almost that murky sport, that intimidating sport, that sport that brands and partners and broadcasters didn't want to touch. So to be here, to be invited to speak is an honor, and it's great to see the boxing. It's great to see boxing so healthy right now. It's great to see it in a place where it's on almost every major network. It's great to see brands involved. It's great to see women's boxing where it is, and it's a fantastic time to be in the sport.
Absolutely. Now, we have a mixed group here tonight. We obviously have members of the boxing community, but also members of Leaders Week, entrepreneurs, business people from around the industry. Some of them may not know what a boxing press conference is like. Now, obviously, this is a consolidated, a condensed version. Is there anything maybe that you can tell them is going to happen at a boxing press conference, why we're doing it, but why we're a couple days out from the show and why we're hosting this here?
It's definitely not as PG as what we had today. You know, usually you have fighters going at each other. Sometimes you have promoters going at each other, pushing each other off stage, and anything can happen. But today is about Azim for me. This is a young man, 22 years old. When I was 22, I don't even know what I was doing. Headlining on Sky Sports, headlining in a big arena in an extremely tough test against Ohara Davies, who's a world-level fighter. And this press conference is about getting the fighters together, seeing what their final thoughts are, seeing what they're thinking ahead of Saturday night, and then we get to the big moment on Saturday where live on Sky Sports, live on NBC. It's a sport like no other, and for those that are new to it, you should watch on Saturday night and see what it's all about.
Amazing. Well, I'd like to introduce the individuals that are joining us on stage, the individuals who will be in the ring Saturday night at the Copperbox Arena. First, on the end here, undefeated as a professional from Sevenoaks, Kent, England, I'd like to welcome Francesca Hennessy. On the opposite side is one of the most popular boxers in this country. He holds a record of 25 victories with only 3 defeats, and 24 of those 25 wins coming by way of knockout. From Ilford, Essex, England, the former Commonwealth, the former European, and the former WBO Intercontinental Light Heavyweight Champion. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Anthony Yard. And now the main event, the two individuals who are headlining Saturday night, the names at the top of the bill. First, I would like to welcome from Hackney, London, England, with a record of 25 victories versus just 3 defeats, and 18 of those wins coming by way of knockout, the former WBC Intercontinental Super Lightweight Champion. Please welcome Ohara Two Tanks Davies. And his opponent on the other side of Ben Shalom, he is one of the fastest rising stars in boxing at just 22 years of age, undefeated as a professional, with 11 victories, 8 of which coming by way of knockout. From Slough, England, please welcome the former European Super Lightweight Champion, Adam, the Assassin, Azim. I'm going to come to Francesca Hennessy first. Francesca, 19 years old, yeah. Correct? Okay, 19 years old, and you are already becoming one of the fan favorites on Sky Sports and NBC. What does that feel like? Is that almost surreal to you, or did you anticipate this happening?
I mean, it is all surreal, really. I'm really grateful for the support I get and the love I get showed, and yeah, I'm just really grateful to be in this position.
Now, beyond your obvious skills as a boxer, you're undefeated, but you have a lot of fun with the sport. You dance to the ring. You're a show woman, I guess, for lack of a better word. Is that just your personality? Does it help you loosen up for the show? Does it help maybe diffuse tension? Why do you like that?
Do you know what it is? I think even in the gym, Brad will tell you this, I'll be dancing, I'll be joking around. I just think it's such a hard sport. You've got to be a bit light-hearted about it sometimes. Even the dance to the ring, you know, it calms me before I'm about to go in there and have a war.
Now, you're still early in your career. Can we expect the dancing and the personality throughout?
Yeah, definitely. That's just me. Honestly, that's not put on. As I said, I do that in the gym. It's just my personality. If I hear music, I'm ready to dance.
Now, it was a topic of conversation, actually, at the session that Boxer was a part of earlier with Vidal Riley and Caroline Dubois. But women's boxing is growing. Over the past few years, we've seen it on a level that's never been before. Yeah. Giant fights, pay-per-view level fights, sold-out arenas, massive distribution. We're at Leaders Week London. Where do you want to be in the industry as it pertains to women's boxing, and where do you think you can help take it?
Do you know what? I want to go right to the top of it, and I don't want to just be known for how I perform in the ring. Obviously, that's a big part of it, but I also want to be known for how I am outside of it and what I represent. So, yeah, I'd like to be known for how I am inside and outside of the ring.
Now, undefeated in 4 pro fights, you're going up against another undefeated opponent, Ana Carla Vaz de Moraes. She's 5-0, so one more fight than you have as a professional. This looks like to be your toughest test yet.
Yeah.
What do you know about your opponent, and how are you preparing for this fight?
Look, she's obviously tough, she's obviously good, you know, she's undefeated herself, and she's strong, but I've prepared really well for this fight, you know, this is the best I've felt, and honestly I can genuinely say that this is the best I've felt. So honestly for me, on Saturday night, it's about going in there, having some fun, and showing everyone skills that I haven't shown before.
What type of fight are you expecting Saturday night?
I'm expecting her to bring it, really bring it, and I'm bringing it myself, so whether I'm dancing around the ring or meeting her in the middle, whatever way it is, I'm going to win.
Well, thank you for joining us. Thanks for being here at Leaders Week. Ben, talking about Francesca Hennessy, I think it's safe to say that you have a real star on your hands. When you see the reception from Sky Sports, from the Sky Sports viewers, obviously Sky Sports has been a massive pusher of women's boxing and showcasing it. What do you think about Francesca Hennessy?
Oh, to be honest, her dad, for people that don't know, was Mick Hennessy, one of the best promoters that we've had in this country. And I remember when he first spoke about Fran, and he said, I've got this fighter, she's really talented, she's this, she's that. And then he said, she's my daughter. I thought he was taking the mick. I didn't quite believe that a daughter of the promoter would be this hungry, would be this passionate about the sport. And then when she came and debuted, she just took everyone's breath away. I think the way she came into the ring, the confidence she shows, the talent that she shows. To do it at 19 years old as well. Most of the female fighters that I've worked with, Savannah Marshalls, Natasha Jonases, a lot of them are coming into the professional sport in their late 20s, early 30s. To actually see the sport now develop to the point where we're getting young girls, young women coming into the sport, turning over like Francesca. I think she's the youngest licensed female boxer. I might be wrong, but I believe she is. And yeah, it's going to be phenomenal to see her journey. You know, she's probably going to have 15 years in this sport, and so to be here right at the start, it's very exciting.
I agree. Now, you brought up her age. You mentioned Adam's age earlier. Leaders Week London has been showcasing a lot of young entrepreneurs and young leaders. When you have young athletes like this, there's always pressure from the public. Oh, we want this fight, we want this fight. But it's almost like you gotta almost kind of pull the reins a little bit and steer the fighter in a career that could be beneficial for them without rushing them too quickly. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think the pressure of being a fighter, the pressure of being a boxer is like no other sport. So to be coming in it so young, the highs and the lows we saw on the weekend, one bad performance and everyone's on your case. And that's why I've got so much admiration for these fighters, particularly Francesca, particularly Adam Azim. You know, you're talking about 22-year-old and a 19-year-old fighting in front of millions of people in the most brutal sport in the world, with the pressure on them, with the expectation on them to deliver every single time. And for us, it's just about trying to keep their feet on the ground, trying to make sure they take it in the stride, trying to make sure they don't take the losses too much, and continue on what should be wonderful careers ahead.
Absolutely. Well, Francesca, thank you for joining us. I'm going to go to Mr. Anthony Yard here. First off, I'm a fan. I'm excited to see you back in the ring. It's been about 8 months out of the ring for you. So I just got to ask, how's life? How's training? Are you ready to get back out there?
Life is magnificent. I literally just been training, staying focused, and waiting for the anticipation to come back and entertain.
Absolutely. Now, you're at a great point in your career. Still highly ranked. You've challenged for multiple world titles, but many people, including myself, believe that you're almost not even at the peak of your career yet. When you look at the possible fights that are on the horizon for you, do you agree that we haven't even seen the best Anthony Yard yet?
I agree 100%. I just feel like being active, and that's even part of this fight I have coming up, is activity. I want to be in the ring. Everyone's going to have their opinion, you know, and you know the level I should be fighting at, how big the fight should be. But if you look into history in boxing, you know, someone like James Toney, because everything wasn't televised back then, they used to have a world title fight and go and have another fight 10 rounds off TV, gaining experience. That's why if you look at their record, they got so many fights, but we only saw so many. So again, everyone knows as an amateur I was inexperienced, 12 amateur fights, and I made it to the top of the mountain twice. Next time, you know, they say, freeze a charm. So next time I get to that world title stage, I'll be taking it.
Now, piggybacking off that last question, we just saw the undisputed fight in your weight division over the weekend in Saudi Arabia. Depending on what happens with those belts, because whoever really knows what's going to go on with the belts, you obviously could be back in line for a title shot, and obviously the Joshua Buatsi fight has been talked about a lot to take place on a domestic level. Where does Anthony Yarde want to see Anthony Yarde in the next 12 months?
I want to see myself wherever I'm meant to be. I'm a firm believer in that. My thing is to work hard. My career is not based on the individual, but I've said it, I want the biggest fights out there. That's the Joshua Buatsi, that's the Better Bay of 2, that's Bivol, that's anybody that's in light heavyweight, that's a big fight. That's the fights I want to be involved in.
Absolutely. Now let's talk about the fight that you have on Saturday. You're facing Ralph Wilkins, a former WBC international light heavyweight champion. He just has 1 defeat in 18 pro fights. He's not a guy that you can take lightly, especially at the level that you're at now. And a potential, what they call a banana skin. As you look to set up another world title shot, how are you looking at this fight on Saturday?
I take this fight like as if it's a world title fight. I don't take no opponent lightly. And the way I see it is, from what I'm hearing, he's top 15 with the WBA. Decent record. I don't care if he had 100 losses on his record. I'm going out there 100%, trying to, you know, do what I do, entertain the fans, win by knockout.
What can the fans expect from Anthony Yarde on Saturday and moving forward?
Lots of excitement. So get your tea, get your biscuit, your popcorn now. The main event again, fantastic fight. But I'm here as a filler. You know, if you need some entertainment before the entertainment, that's what I'm here for.
I love that. And I know the fans are going to enjoy it on Saturday. Anthony, thank you for joining us. Ben, again, you have a star on your hands and a possible world champion. He's looking for massive fights. What do you want to see from Anthony Yarde?
Look, I just think I speak for all boxing fans when I say it's just great to see Anthony Yarde back in the ring. We don't have many superstars, genuine stars that can capture the imagination of mainstream sports fans, and Anthony Yarde is one of them. So to see him on the platform Sky Sports is incredible. He's actually got Ralph Wilkins here. He was a lot tougher than people are saying, coming off the back of a very good knockout win, and I want to see Anthony perform. I want to see the Anthony Yarde that, as a fan, I love to watch, and he's at the copperbox near his hometown, and he'll want to put on a massive, massive performance. We know what fights are beyond this one. We know the big nights are to come, but this is about getting him back in the ring and putting his name in lights and showing what the fans they've been missing.
We talked about the Riyadh season card on Saturday, undisputed fight we saw. The light heavyweight division is right now probably the most exciting it's been in quite some time. Where do you see Anthony Yarde fitting in to that light heavyweight scene?
Look, he's been, as he said, to the top of the mountain twice already and taken on the very, very toughest test. I think now, obviously, we love that Buatsi Yarde fight. I know that that's the fight that the fans want to see. I know that that's the fight that they've been calling for, but until it's made, it's not made, and he needs to put in a performance on Saturday. Josh has just won the WBO interim title, so it can be for that title as well. But he'll have his own ambitions. He wants to fight for another world title. He wants to become another world champion. And in this country, as you said, light heavyweight division, we've got another massive fight on the card between Dan Aziz and Louis Edmondson. There's Josh Buatsi, there's Ben Whittaker, there's Anthony Yarde, all in the domestic light heavyweight scene. And this is the place to be, and this is where the big fights are going to happen. And yeah, I'm delighted to see him here and delighted to see him in the ring on Saturday night.
He's an exciting addition to the card. Anthony Yarde, like he even mentioned, he's someone that can come into a card and bring excitement and bring showmanship and bring energy to the crowd that's there. What can the fans, in your perspective, can expect from Anthony Yarde on Saturday?
You can expect a showman. And as I said, there's not many fighters, if any, in that light heavyweight division that can fight the way Anthony Yard can fight. He's a super talent. And when we talked about earlier, how can we take boxing to bigger audiences? How can we get new fans into the sport? You do it with stars that fans can relate to, and I think that's Anthony Yard's job on Saturday night, is to make a performance that will engage not just the boxing fans but the wider sports audience. And I think it comes off the back of Arsenal. I think we're going to have a huge audience coming into Anthony Yard, which is his team, and I expect him to do the business.
Fantastic. Well, Anthony, thank you for joining us at Leaders Week. All right, now let's talk about the main event. And we are picking up off the heels of the last time Ohara and Adam shared a press conference. It got a little spicy, I guess, for lack of a better word. So we're going to pick up right off the heels of that. Ohara Davies, first off, welcome to Leaders Week. Thank you so much for joining us. Jumping right in a lot where the last press conference picked up or left off, you've been critical of Adam's team and Adam's promoter. There was a lot of anger and animosity at the last press conference. Where does that stem from?
I don't know, I'm just tired, you know. Might be tired. Honestly talking, I'd rather be at home than be here talking to these people here, because, listen, I'm a boxer. All I want to do is go to the gym, train, and then go fight. But I have to do press conferences and then the media workouts and talk to all these people, the cameras in my face. Like, I only got into boxing because I don't want to do this. I only got into boxing because I'm not fit for the whole corporate world, job interviews and meeting new people. I'm not good at that. That's why I got into boxing in the first place. And then I boxed, I become pro, and look where I am. In front of all these people talking. And it's actually long, because I would actually rather be at home right now playing FIFA, or playing Fortnite, or playing Call of Duty. But no, I've got to be where I don't want to be. I'm tired, I'm fighting in about 3 days. And I ain't only talking for myself. I think all these fighters don't want to be here. I think all these fighters don't want to be here. But it's just something you've got to do when you box, you know, when you box and you make it to a certain level, you've got to do this stuff. But I actually don't like it, and it's how many people feel, like they just won't say it. But I just don't really care anymore. I really don't care what you guys think of me. And this is why I just say what I want to say, and I speak my mind, and you know, that's probably why I ain't got no sponsors too at the same time.
Well, One, I appreciate the honesty. Two, I apologize, that won't be my last question. I'm going to come back to you, so apologies. Adam, I guess back over to you. Did you feel that animosity at the last press conference from Ohara? Is that reciprocated on your end at all?
You need the mic?
Yeah.
To be honest, look, that's his own opinion, you know, with obviously the media stuff, that's up to him, do you know what I mean? He's been through that. Obviously for me, I was just here to do the press conference. I'm here to obviously show what I am, who I am, and obviously I'm still learning my game, so this is something new to me still.
Do you like the press conference, the talking, maybe a little bit more than Ohara does? Or do you feel the same?
To be honest, look, I just want to be home watching my boxing, but I have to do this, and it's part of the journey. But yeah, look, I'm very happy to be here. You know, all praise to Allah as well. You know, obviously I'm very thankful to where I am right now, and you know, it's going to be a great fight. I'm just looking forward to it.
Ohara, you've known Adam since he was a boy. He's now a man. Have you been impressed with what you have seen from him so far as a pro?
I was watching him last night. I think when you fought Arfan, the speed, I was like, damn, this guy is good. I watched him for the first time last night. I ain't gonna lie, I never watched him before until last night, and I've heard
Which fight were you watching?
No,
Which fight were you watching?
Arfan. I think that's the first fight, 3 fights ago.
That was alright performance, but much better than that.
Listen, the speed, everything was good. Sharpness, the timing, and I'm like, damn, I'm in a very hard fight this weekend.
Yeah.
So it was last time, I sat down, I'm having some pasta, I'm on the table, I'm just watching the fight, I'm like, yeah, this guy's good. You know, and I'm proud of him. He's done good. Him, his coach, his dad, you know, they've all done a good job to make him the fighter that he is now. And Ben's done a good job. As much as I say bad things about Ben's done, he's made many bad choices in his time in boxing, but he's still new. And, you know, Ben's done a good job. But the best thing Ben's done is to get Anthony Yard on board, because Anthony Yard's the future of boxing on Sky Sports. And I told Ben backstage, the best thing he done is to get out of the yard on board. The only thing is that it could have been done a bit earlier, but it's better late than never, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Adam, we've talked about, a lot's been mentioned about your age, and that conversation's never going to go away. You are the younger fighter here. On paper, obviously the less experienced fighter when it comes to number of fights. But many see you still as the favorite on Saturday night. Does the history with Ohara affect you in any way?
Look, I've got nothing bad to say about it, you know. I'm good friends with him and we're going to be friends after the fight, but it's all down to, you know, it's nothing personal, it's just business. And, you know, for me, this is a test for me, this is a step up for me. This is my first ever big test, so I'm very switched on for this fight. I had a great camp. Initially I was going to fight Harlem Eubank, but that didn't take place. But, you know, he's a better fighter than Harlem Eubank, much better fighter. He's been at the world stage and, you know, the fight, it's going to be a great fight on Saturday, and we're both going to put on a great fight and for the fans, and this is what British boxing is about. But it is the downfall that we're both friends, but we will still be friends after the fight.
I don't know, I just feel like you guys are trying to get us to say something bad. I ain't got nothing bad to say, you ain't got nothing bad to say. If that's what you guys are hoping for, you're going to leave here disappointed. I ain't got nothing bad to say. I've only got something bad to say about you guys and about these guys. But against him, listen, the same thing they done last time. Because they made this fight and they said, listen, Adam hasn't had anyone, you know, so can Ohara be a bit? I'm like, nah, I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you, so listen, stop trying to make someone say something bad and then I'm going to come back and he's going to come back. Nah, it ain't happening. Not today, not for this fight. Maybe for his next fight, for my next fight, but not for this fight.
We need to
It's just
erase some of
business.
these questions.
It's
Yeah.
just business.
Adam is undefeated in 11 fights. A lot of people are looking at him as a potential world champion. Is there anything that you've seen that makes you think or know in your mind that you can be the one to end this winning streak, to put a stop to this Adam Azim hype and train and momentum?
I don't know, time will tell. You know, I watched him last night and I was like, wow, this guy is very, very, very good. But it's one of those things, you know, time will tell. We're fighting in 3 days, and time will tell, you know. But you're going to come in there and say, I'm going to win, and then he's going to say something back, and I'm going to say something back. Stop trying to cause this. I don't know what's going to happen until Saturday night. Okay, we've got to wait until Saturday night and see.
Adam, speaking about you being undefeated, fast rising prospect, you're fighting Ohara Davies. This test that you're facing, is there anything about Ohara that you've been impressed by, that you've been looking at and saying, all right, I need to work on XYZ things because I haven't seen this before?
Look, like I said, he's got the world-class experience. Like, that speaks for itself. Like, for me, I've got to adapt to that. I've got to adapt to a lot of this because obviously this is something new to me. He's very heavy-handed. He's got skills in him. He's, you know, look, we both come from obviously the same trainer back in the day. So most of my attributes have come from that when I was a kid. So, so even from him as well. So. Look, so I'm just very excited for the fight, and I haven't been watching much of him, but I've watched him before. I know him for years. I know him. So, but I am a different fighter for what I was 1 year ago because every year I keep improving. I've matured as a man, and look, these things happen. I had an injury to fight Harlem Eubank, but then I had to pull out because of the injury. So, look, you know, it's all praise to Allah. These things happen, and I'm in a better fight now.
Now, looking at you being from a year ago, you talked about how much you've improved. Is that stemming from the fights that you've had? Is that stemming from the amount of training that you had with the McGuigans? Is it a mixture of both? Is it the camp that you're in, surrounded by world champions? What really has led to this improvement of Adam Azim?
My personal opinion is just, you know, from looking at the fight back in February, I've changed most of my stuff because I know what I did wrong. There's a lot of stuff I've changed. You know, obviously, thanks to obviously the McGuigan's gym for obviously getting me this fight, and also, you know, I'm getting better every single time. You know, my learning is coming from the gym. I learn every single day from the gym, and obviously, I big up to all the other coaches and all the team I have there. It's just like as a man, I'm maturing. I know how to handle things now. It's not just from the boxing perspective. It's just me as a person. I'm just maturing as a man, and this is me obviously developing as a man now, so yeah.
Or I promise this question is not scripted to get you to react in a certain way, but it is something that you said. you said that this is the stupidest fight for Boxer, for Ben to put Adam in. Can you elaborate for us?
Oh, I did elaborate back then, but I'll do it again. So, what I said is, listen, the Harlem Rebound fight would have been a bigger fight, the Dortmund Smith fight would have been a bigger fight, and made more money. And if I fight Adam and I win, people will say he got beat by a washed up Ohara Davies. It was a very bad loss. But if he fought Harlem Rebound or if he fought with Dortmund Smith and they won, then it's more like it's a 50-50 fight. You know, it could have gone either way and it'll be easier to get him back on track. So to choose me was a very stupid move. I don't know who in the box office sat down and said, we're going to get a Davis fighter who just got stopped in round 1 in his last fight, pay him all this money and let him fight our, even though he could win. It's a very stupid move. Very, very, very stupid move. And I said, if it was time to Matchroom would never have made that mistake. And I don't think it was Ben. Listen, it was someone in his office that influenced him and he listened to them. Someone in Ben's office and in his office told him to take the Ohara Davies fight and listen to them. But it's a very stupid move. I ain't going to complain, you know. I ain't going to complain. So, you know, it is what it is. I didn't say it because I don't think Adam's a great fighter. Fast, sharp, but stupid move in a business sense by the boxer team. Anyway, talking about something different. I see Tunde earlier. Tunde was here and listen, people don't know. Me, Adam, Anthony, we've been together for years. We've known each other for years and we've been training in the same gym for over 10 years ago.
And we was all trained by the same guy. I just realised it when I was up here.
Yeah.
All three of us were trained by Tunde.
And I remember Adam was a kid, literally like a little kid.
I used to spar Adam. You know that? I used to spar Adam when he was a kid. I used to be like,
You know,
But now look at him.
I saw Tony earlier, and Tony was like, listen, people like us don't die. We keep going. And we're just a bunch of poor kids in the gym. I had to go steal some grapes from the shop sometimes, some coconut water, steal some oranges, mangoes, some bananas. Now I can buy it. All of us listen.
Now you're Leaders Week in London.
Now I'm here. All you guys are coming to watch me and film me and put the camera in my face. Listen, thank you. Because we were just a bunch of poor kids in the streets that didn't have nothing but a dream and a goal. And now we're all here. And I know that Tunde's not on the camera, but Tunde was a part of that. And listen, got to give him his props because Tunde started this, you know, Tunde made this fight. So, you know, we want to give everyone their props. And listen, it's good to be here and I'm enjoying it very much.
Well, I didn't intend for that question to lead to some inspirational stuff, but it actually ended that way. It is an inspirational story when you look at where you guys have come from, starting out as boxers and now where you are now on the platforms that you're on.
Let me tell you guys one story, yeah. I remember one time, yeah, I got on a train, I didn't have my Oyster card, yeah.
Buckle up, everyone.
listen, I didn't have my Oyster card, so then the ticket inspectors came on the train, and they asked everyone, where's your train ticket? I mean, you know, you got, you know, your pass. I didn't have my pass. So I waited until the doors opened. The way I ran off that train, and the ticket inspector chased me, and he caught me, and I had to go take the fine. Now I've got the car, I can drive to the gym now.
There you go.
So listen, nice change for us all, and we're very thankful to be here, and we're thankful to everyone, you guys coming to watch us, the fans, everyone that's going to buy the fight. We're only where we're at in life, and we're not these poor kids on the streets anymore, because of you guys. So thank you.
Absolutely. Last question for you, Ohara. We've talked a lot about the perspective from Adam's side and what you feel about this fight, but looking at you and your career, what does this fight, main eventing on Sky, main eventing on NBC, fighting Adam Azim, undefeated, what would a win over Adam mean for Ohara?
I don't like boxing no more. If I'm honest, if I'm honest, I think about this every day. I actually don't like boxing no more. I actually don't like it. Like the passion I first had for it when I first, you know, the first time I turned pro, I loved it. And yeah, you do this. No, I really don't care now. And I've been boxing over 14 years now, and it's been the same routine. Have you been doing the same job for 14 years?
No.
How long have you been doing this?
A couple years.
And I'm sure after 14 years you'll be tired. You're thinking, listen, I'm tired. Listen, I've been doing the same thing for 14 years. I've been living the same lifestyle. I ain't been able to have no cake. I ain't been able to drink no alcohol. And listen, I'm very bored of this right now. I'm very bored of the whole boxing thing. This is why I'm here just saying what I want to say, because I'm very bored of it. I've done this so many times. I've had the conferences so many times. Before you were doing this, I was doing the conferences. Before you was on Sky Sports, Ben, I was on Sky Sports. Before anyone was on, before all you guys were here, coming to film, I was doing the boxing. I've been doing this a very long time and I'm very bored of it now. So when you ask me what is it going to do for me, I really don't know and I don't care. I really don't care. For me, it's just another fight, man. But I'm very tired of boxing. And frankly, I'm actually very, very, very tired of it.
What are you expecting from the main event on Saturday?
I'm expecting a very, very good fight because I know Ohara very, very well. And again, I know Adam. And I don't know if everyone in the public thinks this is going to be an easy fight for Adam, but it's going to be a good fight. And I feel like that's why I said I don't mind sliding in as a bit of entertainment.
We'll warm everybody up.
It's a serious fight. I think it's a very, very good fight.
Now, go ahead.
Obviously, I know public think it's an easy fight, but I've been taking this fight really, like I said, he's a world champion. That's what I've been doing. You know, he's a good friend of mine, but I've been taking this fight as a world champion. So, you know, I know mentally this is a really hard fight, and I've got to be switched on. That's it. But no, all respect to Ohara as well.
Adam, you can actually hold that mic. I want you to. Last question for you, Adam.
Wait,
I asked the same.
one more thing. Before, I'm very focused. The whole week I've not been on my social media.
It's got a trap
I've
phone.
got a trap phone.
What year is that?
Nokia phone. You see this?
Is that a Nokia?
This is the key to be focused. Have a Nokia phone. Stay away from social media.
Belongs in a museum, but turn it off for social media. That is the
I
preparation
don't
for
deal with
focus.
it, but it's got to be on the Nokia phone.
Adam, I asked the same question to Ohara. What does this win for you represent? Main eventing on Sky, main eventing on NBC Peacock, global distribution. Everyone's going to be watching Adam Azim, Ohara Davies. There's background between you two. What does this fight mean for you?
It's a big, massive win for me. If you know, look, it's a massive step up for me, and you know, all praise to Allah. You know, anything can happen, and you know, whatever the right way is, it has to be.
Absolutely.
Listen, this fight for Adam, if Adam wins this fight, it's like the equivalent of an for Jerry Matthews, you know, the first big fight, you know, and if he wins this fight, you know, the world's his. The world's his if he wins this fight.
Absolutely. Ben, to close with you, what a fight this is. A lot of storylines surrounding this fight and history and experience differences and an age gap and everything like that. What do you think? Do you believe Ohara's too much? Do you believe that the Adam train rolls on? What kind of show, what kind of fight can the fans expect on Saturday night?
It's a huge fight, and obviously I do want to say it's great to see Ohara back. He's one of the characters of British boxing, so to have him back for Adam Azim is huge. I think they're at two different stages of the career. Ohara Davies just came off a first round knockout for a world title, but he's fighting at world level. Any punch in this sport
I didn't get no sleep then for that fight. I didn't get no sleep. Man, listen, this
But let me tell you, Ohara's lost two fights before that. One to Josh Taylor and one to Jack Cattrall. He's a top quality operator. Adam Azim's going to have to be on his game. I think everyone in the background is saying it's a 50-50 fight. There's people in Ohara's camp saying we've made a massive mistake. I know he's had a great camp. I know he's motivated. I know he's coming to win. So is Adam Azim, and they both deserve a lot of credit for this fight because as much as they might talk, it's a must-win fight for different reasons. And it's a huge fight on Saturday night, huge fight for boxing. Of course, for me, it's the time for Adam Azim to make a massive statement against a top quality operator.
You have something you want to say, Ohara?
Not a must-win fight for me, man. You know, my career keeps going for as long as I want it to go for. I lose my 100 fights and I still charge you big money to get me in the ring. It don't matter what I do. My boxing career will go on for as long as I want it to go on. It will go on forever if I want it to go on forever. No one can tell me it's a must-win fight. They said that all the fights I lost, both the fights I lost. After my Cattrall fight, they said, oh, you should call it a day now. And look what I've done since. I've done even bigger things since. So, mate, my career goes on for as long as I want it to go for. I'll be boxing after you're done, Ben. After you're finished boxing for more. Even if you've got until 70 years old, my boxing career can outlast you and everyone else, all you guys. Don't forget, I was here before you guys were here, and before you was here, Ben. I was in Sky Sports, so I'll choose when I'm done. And there ain't no such thing as a must-win fight, because then that adds some pressure to me. There ain't no pressure. It's not a must-win fight. I've charged you guys good money all the time. You will get money on shows. And I'll be here after you guys are all done. You camera people, after I was here before you, Ben, on Sky. I was on Sky before you. I'm more familiar with how this works than you are, Ben. I've been here more times than you. And you. So yeah, you know, it's not a must-win fight.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, we're going to close this press conference with also, I think, the first head-to-head face-off that's ever happened at Leaders Week London. But I speak on behalf of boxing when I say thank you to Leaders Week London for having us this Saturday evening. live from the Copperbox Arena on Sky Sports and NBC's Peacock. We have a stat card featuring the likes of those who have joined me on stage: Francesca Hennessy, Anthony Yard, Ohara Davies, Adam Azim. Boxer live on Saturday night. Thank you all for joining us. This has been great. And we're going to finish with a face-off between Ohara and Adam. Thank you all for joining us.